Hey y'all, hope everybody's doing good and well. I am back with more of my unpopular thoughts. And so in this video, these are some clippings, some very brief short clippings that I got from TikTok, and they are discussing gentle parenting, the impact that it's having on society, and whether or not it's an effective approach to parenting at all. And so without too much more procrastination, we're going to go ahead and jump into the video.
It's weak parents that are too afraid to be the bad guy. We're seeing a pandemic of entitled, nervous, anxious children. I get so many DMs from teachers right now. I get them from other parents where they're seeing this complete watering down and this insipid parenting where kids are just out of control. They don't respect anything anymore. They are entitled. They don't have any appreciation for hard work. They're not putting in any effort to face their fears and level up. They're just squealing and screaming and demanding. And you have these parents like, "What's wrong, Timmy? What can I do to help you feel safe again and feel special again?" And it's just an absolutely horrific way to parent. It's not helping your kids. It's not doing them any favors. It may make you feel good because you don't have to be the bad guy. And I think that's really what's going on with gentle parenting. I think it's weak parents that are too afraid to be the bad guy. They're too afraid to push their kids, and they're too afraid to have their kids dislike them for a moment to actually implement good parenting. And it's a huge problem in our society right now. I mean, we're seeing massive consequences across the board for this.
Okay, I'm going to chime in really quickly. I think that is a form of weak parenting. I also think that there's been a disconnect with the parents and children, right? The whole family dynamics, right? We know it's been totally disassembled. And so I feel like most parents, like everybody's too busy. And the fact that we are all too busy, the children, the parents, everybody, we are not taking time to get to actually know one another. So I feel like a lot of parents that are implementing gentle parenting practices, they may not really know their children. And where you are implementing gentle parenting tactics, you may need some more assertive, because your child may be a little bit more aggressive, right, as to a passive child or a gentle child. So I think that is part of the problem also, where the world is moving so quickly, so fast, that we don't really nowadays, parents don't really know their children. And, the children don't really know the parents. So everybody is kind of foreign to one another, if that makes sense. So that's kind of my opinion. I just wanted to chime in really quickly on that. Let's continue watching.
Get your motherfucking ass up. I'm not playing with you. That's so ugly. We're not leaving until I get my car.
Please. Sit on your damn feet. Gentle parenting is what's killing society today. I'm gonna be the one to say it. Y'all be trying to gentle parent these kids, and these kids are not gentle. I know my kid is not gentle. Sometimes when I sit here and talk to him nicely, he tries to run all over me. We're not doing that. So sometimes I gotta throw a little curse word in there, a little fucking shit or motherfucker or something like that, in order for him to hear me and listen to me. I don't curse at him all the time, but goddamn, if I want him to listen, oh, my tone changes. I gotta add a little salt and pepper, a little razzle dazzle to my sentences. And that's what my curse words are. They just a little razzle dazzle, just a little spiciness, But that gets him to fucking listen. Y'all be wanting to gentle parent these fucking kids and wonder why these kids be so fucking bad. My kid not bad. He actually got student of the month for the month of September. So clearly, I'm doing something right. The little shit, he's...
Okay, let me chime in again on her. Now, I'm not here to crucify any parents, right? I feel like for the most part, all of us parents are doing our best, right? But I need to kind of say this. We need to stop connecting things that doesn't really, necessarily connect. You heard her say that, my child really isn't a bad child because he get good grades. He got student of the year or month or whatever it was. But I want to say this. Your child academics have nothing to do with your child's actual character, okay? It just doesn't. Some children, you know, okay, we have Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was a whole practicing lawyer. He was in school to be a lawyer, right? He got good grades. Jeffrey Dahmer, he went to college and you know, his grades were fairly well. John Wayne Gacy, the same difference. So I don't think we need to compare curriculum or academics necessarily with character, with virtue. And I think, again, that is where there's a lapse, there's a disconnect, right? Your child, some children are just innately smart. Like, some things are passed down through genes, but that still does not speak volume about the child's character, who they really are. So yes, your child can get good grades. Your child can be straight A students, perfect attendance, all of that, and still have a crappy character, okay? Poor character, right? No virtues, no integrity, no pride. Your child can still lack all of those things, and those are, in my opinion, far more important than your academics. You know, that's just in my opinion. I think those things should come first. You should be teaching your children that in the womb. You know, that's just my opinion. But let's go ahead and jump back into the video, please.
He's great. At home, he's a fucking terrorist. But at school, my boy know how to act. And I appreciate that.
We are raising mentally weak children because we overdo for them. One of the concepts in the book I really love is if you do too much for your children, you are increasing your self-esteem by stealing theirs. Wow.
Now that was deep. He said when you're overly doing for your children, you are increasing your self-esteem, but you are depleting them of theirs. And I think also in a lot of gentle parenting approach, a lot of parents are doing it for some guilt that they feel, right? Some regret that they may have. I think that makes a difference, right? Why are you doing this? Are you trying to live through your children? Now, I do believe that, you know, there's a thing where you say, you know, I'm going to be gentle because my parents or whoever raised me, they were a little rough. They, you know, maybe borderline abusive, so I'm going to have a more gentle approach. Okay, I think that's okay because, again, we want to do for our children the best that we can, give them the best that we can, and so forth and so on. So I think that's you know, reasonable to say that, you know, I want to do things maybe slightly different than what was done to me. Now, again, if you're a parent that's trying to have this general approach because you have some regret or you have some shame or something for something that you did or did not do, I think that's the total, you know, wrong approach to have. You should not be trying to buy your children or solicit your children in any kind of way, okay, for lack of better words. But I think that was real deep, where we are building our confidence while depleting our children of it. So let's go ahead and continue listening.
That we develop mental toughness by solving problems. So if my daughter would forget her homework at home, nobody's bringing it to school. If she didn't bring a jacket on a cold day, even though her mother told her to, nobody's bringing her the jacket. It's so important to, when a child says, oh, boy, fix it. Just say, I wonder what you're going to do about it, and then shut up.
Okay, so this is my thoughts pretty much to gentle parenting, more aggressive parenting, corporal punishment, if you will. I feel like we first need to reconnect with our children, get to know who our children really are, okay? And then from there, you build a disciplinary practice around that, right? Because I'm not going to say that gentle parenting is just necessarily ineffective, right? Like it just doesn't work. I'm not going to say that, because I think there are children that benefit from gentle parenting. There are children that's open and receptive to gentle parenting. Why? Because those may be more gentle, passive, docile children, right? But I'm not naive enough to believe that gentle parenting is a one-size-fits-all parenting approach where it's gonna be effective for all children. I don't believe that, because in actuality, we have children that are, some children that are a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more, rough around the edges, right? They need a more tough approach, if you will. So again, I just feel like we really need to get back to actually knowing who our children is, not assuming because you birthed them or you created them that they are necessarily this thing that you would hope and like for them to be, but no, actually getting to have some measure, some form of actually knowing who your child is. And I think, again, that is really the disconnect. We don't know. Everybody's moving. The world, again, is moving so quickly. Parents are working over half of the day. The children are at school, and then they're out, and if they're not out, they're at home. They're on these technical devices all day. And so again, nobody's really getting together to know one another, and that's parents as well. We really don't know who our children is. So if you don't know your child per se, how can you know the approach that you should take with disciplining this child? So again, I feel like there's a plethora of correct approaches if you first use that way to measure, you know what I'm saying, to really find out who your child is, and then you go through the playbook, if you will, of different ways of disciplining, and you try to find what's best for your child, right? And so I just feel like that's it. I'm not going to give this black eye to gentle parenting, and I'm not going to shun or shame a more aggressive form of parenting, because again, different strokes, different folks, different children, we need different approaches to disciplining them. So I'm not going to stretch this video out much longer. We're going to go ahead and end it. If you like this video, I'd like to ask you to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you are not a subscriber, I'd like to ask why not, okay? I'd like to ask you to go ahead and consider subscribing to this channel, because in my personal opinion, I don't think you're going to regret it at all. So with that being said, I will be back with more of my unpopular thoughts. Thank you guys.